While there is a lot of plot holes and odd things that happen in Naruto, the Sharingan was one of the things that confused me the most, as there are a good handful of things that just don't make much sense about it. Let's start with, here. How did Kakashi never run out of chakra while using Kamui during the war arc? When he used it against Deidara, right after, he was bedridden for weeks. But during the war arc, he was pretty much spamming the jutsu over the course of 2 days. From what I went back and counted, he used it a total of 13 times during the war arc. That's like 2 half dozens. He should have been flat on his face, shriveled up like a worm on a summer day, dead by that point. How he was able to go from using it twice to 13 times is a bit too much of a stretch for me not to notice. Now, you're probably sitting there typing away trying to argue my point in one of 2 ways. The first counter-argument being, oh, but Naruto lent Kakashi chakra, so Kakashi was able to refuel. Fair point. But after that refuel, he still used his MS 8 times, on top of Chidori's, his regular Sharingan usage, and all the other jutsu he has. There's just no way he had enough chakra to do all of that. And the second counter-argument being that Kakashi trained his Mangekyo Sharingan and increased his chakra pool so that he could use it more. And while that's certainly true, as Kakashi was able to use it against Sasuke without exhausting all of his energy, but I just don't think it's possible for Kakashi to train his MS to the extent of using it 8 times without any rest, especially since he wouldn't want to train his MS too often, as training it would also mean his vision would deteriorate. Speaking of MS deterioration, many of you are probably wondering why Kakashi's eye never went blind from spamming his abilities. And just like you, I thought the same thing. Until I did more research for this video and found out that actually in chapter 668, page 13 or something, he tells us that he's actually going blind in his eye. So, now you know, and you don't have to comment it. Yeah. Shit. But honestly, instead of wondering how Kakashi isn't losing his vision, you should be wondering how Obito isn't losing his vision after spamming Kamui like 1,000 times throughout the entire series. I mean, Obito figured out his MS abilities day 1, and basically used it in every single fight until he died, yet he never went blind. And in terms of confirmed, canonical reasons for why this happens, there is none. At least, I'm pretty sure. The most common theory for Obito's immunity to the side effects is because Obito has, wait for it, Hashirama cells. Which, every plot hole in Naruto is solved with Hashirama cells. It's like Hashirama cells are Kishimoto's flex seal to cover up anything in the story. Now, outside of Hashirama cells, the only other solution I thought was possible was that Obito has a stash of backup Sharingan. So theoretically, he could keep replacing his Sharingan so that he can continuously use his abilities with no repercussion. But MS abilities are linked to the eye, not the user, so it's basically all headcanon. And unfortunately for Obito in this video, this isn't the only odd thing about his Sharingan, as arguably even more confusing than the deterioration of his eyes is how he uses Mangekyo Sharingan abilities without even activating the Mangekyo Sharingan at all. In the manga, when he fights, Obito is phasing through things every few seconds, and while this is all happening, you can clearly see Obito's base Sharingan being shown at different points throughout the entire fight. And even if you want to say that he was just activating and deactivating his MS every few seconds, which doesn't really make sense, in the anime we clearly see Obito phasing through guys' nunchucks while his Sharingan is still in its base form. I mean seriously, the nunchuck literally phases through the Sharingan. And it's pretty much like this for every fight. Obito has the base Sharingan out throughout the entire fight, but is still able to use his MS abilities. I honestly see no reason for him not to want to keep his MS activated throughout the entire fight. So for us, it basically looks like he's using his MS abilities with the base Sharingan. And finally, this one isn't really a plot hole or anything, but personally, I always wondered how everyone was able to perform eyeball surgery like it was nothing. Shisui's about to die, and just goes, oh yeah, hold on, let me just, here you go. Itachi casually pops out Sasuke's eye like a ping pong ball, and Madara just swoops in and yeets it out of Kakashi's face. Hey, what's that? My theory is that everyone's eyeballs got little magnets on the back of them, and that connects to the back of their eye sockets so that they can be taken out and traded like Pokemon cards. Which, makes sense to me, so I'm gonna just go with it. Anyways, even though this is all very fun to talk about, we all know the real reason for every single one of these, and it's simply that it works well with the plot. Kakashi needed to use Kamui a lot to not only contribute against the stronger villains, but because it was convenient for the situation. If Obito could only use his MS abilities 24 times in his entire life before his eyes wore out, then he wouldn't have been as big of a threat. Obito couldn't be seen with the Mangekyo activated, so the audience wouldn't know that Madara was actually Obito, because Obito and Kakashi share the same eyes. And it'd be pretty lame if every time someone needed to change Sharingans, they had to call Sakura over to do some surgery. Anyways, no hate to Naruto, love the show, all-time great, and that just about wraps up this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.